Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our main event of the evening. This is 12 rounds of boxing, 3 minutes each round at the weight limit of 10 stones. This is a final eliminating contest for the light welterweight championship of Great Britain. Between, in this corner, from Edinburgh, the former lightweight champion of the world, Ken Buchanan. And in this corner, from Coventry, the number 3 light welterweight from Great Britain, Steve Early. At the weighing at 1 o'clock today, Buchanan scaled 9 stone, 11 pounds, and Early 10 stone. Your referee for this eliminating contest, Mr. Harry Gibbs.
Left-hand corner, Steve Early in this eliminator for the light welterweight championship of Great Britain over 12 3-minute rounds. Early in the dark shorts, already busy against the former champion of the world, Ken Buchanan. A lot of pundits have called this one the boxer versus the fighter. But Steve Early's got the bigger punch of the two, but he's not just a fighter. He can box a bit. And he will have to, and this is his greatest test against one of the best world champions Britain's ever produced. Early getting in with a right hand, a little bit light. They did get over the top of his man's guard there. I fancy we might see a rumbustious start from Steve Early. Buchanan, who has come back after an 8 years layoff from the ring, not quite as mobile as he used to be. And I fancy Steve Early might crowd Buchanan in the early rounds. He got over the top there with a right hand. Buchanan, a master of ring craft, of course. Never a man to pack a really big knockout punch, Buchanan, but a dancing master and a boxing specialist. Stinging right hand there from Early, glances Buchanan's shin and brings Buchanan inside to hold on. Early again, twice first to the punch. Stick out that educated left hand and tied up very neatly there at close quarters by Early. Early's tactics, one suspects, will not to be let the world champion settle. Glancing right hand again, at Buchanan in trouble, and Early going in, looking for that big right hand. To come in close and get those big punches of his going. He can bang with that right hand. He can box, but he can hit hard. Ken Buchanan can do everything in the world low bar really hit hard. But that is to take nothing away from his consummate skill. Ken Buchanan, now 34 years of age, won the world title, the lightweight title, from Ismail Laguna. And then he retired in 1971. Didn't return to the ring until 1979. A long, long layoff. Coming up from the right-hand corner now, Buchanan against Early, his challenger for this eliminating contest for the British light welterweight title. Early again in quickly with a stinging right hand into the ribs. And over the top with the right. Buchanan, ring-wise, worldly-wise, vastly experienced, wanting to keep it at the distance, stab out that left hand, and jolt Early out of his style. Buchanan will look to try and score the point, stick and run, as they say, jab out the left hand and move. But Early has given signs that he's going to make him work for his points. He won't let the former world champion settle to his usual dancing style, picking the punches and moving as he wants and dictating the contest. Buchanan flicking out the left, trying hard to be first with the punch and beaten twice by Early. And Early in with a good left hand and nearly got him with the following right. Buchanan glad to come inside the haven of refuge and hold on. Early covering up well there as Buchanan took him into the corner. He took no punishment from that. Early 10 years advantage in age. And only half the contest that Buchanan's had, 20 and 119. Taught Buchanan there with a good uppercut as he came in. End of round 2. Steve Early, this Coventry Irishman, ranked number 3 to a champion Clinton McKenzie from Croydon. A very bright prospect indeed, and a very intelligent young man. A gentleman outside the ring and invariably inside the ring until he lands that big bombshell right hand of his. Early sparred with former world champion, heavyweight champion, Leon Spinks, on a visit to the USA, and Spinks was very impressed. Said this boy's got a lot of promise, is a future champion. Well, we'll soon know. Round 3. And again, Early, in fast, in quick. Cutting out the work and getting in shots there that told. Buchanan not as agile as he used to be, naturally. He's 34 now. Trying to make the left hand do the work. Missed with the right hand. And that's the first one he's flung in the contest. Early again, nailing him with the right hand. Not enough steam behind it. And prompting Buchanan to come back, to jab out the left hand and try and stop it. Understandable that Buchanan will want to keep it at long range, jab out his left, and then move. But at the moment, he's finding Early a very difficult target. Early with one to the body and one to the head. Early of Coventry Irish stock, who was formerly amateur captain of England, and a very good throw. There's that right hand a little bit high, and evading Buchanan's retaliation in very smart style. Early just slipped inside that right cross of Buchanan's there. Got out of danger very, very neatly. And now making the former world champion hang on. Referee Harry Gibbs, probably the best referee in the world, without none of that, of course. Early with the left, and only just out of range with the first right. Watch your head, says Gibbs. Early a right hand body shot getting in there with telling effect. Powerful left hand from Early. And again we saw the fire and steam of the younger man, forcing the champion onto the retreat, not going backwards, that's not Buchanan's way, but coming forward and trying to smother these blows and having a powerful, difficult job, because Early has landed some nice ones and picked some good punches. Ken Buchanan made his return in 1979. Had 2 wins against Benny Benite and Eloy de Souza. That was in Denmark. Then he challenged for the European Championship and lost a very close fight on points to Charlie Nash. He reckons he took that title fight too soon and probably proved it when he beat Des Gwilym, the Midlands area champion, in his next contest. 4th round, and Early in straight away with that right hand over the top of the former world champion's guard and hustling him now. Buchanan trying desperately hard to get this stick and move routine into top gear. But Early, I must say, doing a good job defensively of avoiding the former world champion's punching and doing the damage himself when he gets inside. Buchanan now trying desperately hard to dictate. Jab there came from Early, and a good one too. Buchanan showing a lot of his old ring craft there to avoid shipping punishment. But caught there by Early. And Early, a little barrage of blows there. Got in with a very nice combination left-right. Buchanan trying to sneak 2 or 3 quick left hands and going, but it's not quite coming off for him. Touch of the old world master there from Buchanan, and making Early miss with both hands. Buchanan just getting inside that right hand of Early's in time. Buchanan now, this is what he wants to do. Buchanan wants to stick and move and make Early run. End of the 4th. Buchanan should know all about Steve Early. He saw Early win his last contest against French-based African Dan Maputo, and said afterwards that he thought Early was a bit sluggish. Well, Buchanan always was a controversial character, even when he insisted on managing himself when world champ. But he's not finding Early sluggish tonight. We're into the 5th of this scheduled 12-rounder eliminator for the light welterweight championship of Great Britain. Buchanan trying to pick up where he left off, stubbing out the left hand, and Early brings him inside. Buchanan still slippery as an eel despite his lack of former mobility. But Early taking it to him and making him work all the time. Told to break as the gumshoe went west there, and Early trying a haymaker that didn't quite come off. Buchanan countering nicely with an uppercut. And Early just out of range with the right hand. Kenny Buchanan, as usual, not overworking in the right hand. Bent on wearing Early down and sticking him with the left jab. Buchanan doing the chasing there, and Early having to fight his way off the ropes. Ken Buchanan has former Midlands heavyweight champion Dave Roden in his corner, and no doubt taking a bit of heart from that 5th round, which is probably his best so far. Early getting a torrent of advice as usual from manager Pat Lynch. Guiding light and mentor. They come out for the 6th. Buchanan's skill in evidence there, making early miss a couple of times.
Come on, Kennedy! Come on, Kennedy!
Early in this 6th, seeming to have lost a little of the impetus that he had in the opening round. Buchanan relying entirely on that left hand, except when he sticks up the right at an uppercut when they come in close. A rare right from Buchanan. Watch your head, says the referee Harry Gibbs. Missed with the right early, but got him with the left. Good work by Early there, as the former world champion covered up his head. Early nailed him to the body. Adroit work by Early when taken to the ropes. Early having to counter there a bit rapidly. Buchanan putting in his best work at this near halfway stage. There is the bell. At the end of the 6th, halfway through the contest. And Early in danger of losing the initiative to Buchanan, who is now getting more settled into his routine of jabbing his man away and just using the occasional right uppercut and right cross. Looked after by the Lynch brothers, Pat and his brother Tom, and what a fine team they've built up in the Midlands. 7th round.
Come on, Ken, jab him up. Jab him, Kenny. Jab him.
And it looks as though they got the message over that Early has been allowing in the last couple of rounds Buchanan to be the aggressor, but he caught the former world champ there with a good right. Out goes the gum shield again. but took the second one. Three left hands from Buchanan to try and make it up and level it. No great steam in Buchanan's punches, but there is in Early's if he can land one really solidly. There and nearly got himself in trouble. But that educated left hand of Buchanan's really going to work now. Buchanan, vastly experienced, a ring artist, quick to cover up, quick to avoid and evade these haymakers from Early, and covering up there just in time. Early must summon up his energies and force the contest because he's allowing Buchanan to get on top by dictating, although Buchanan walked into one there. End of round 7 with Early trying to get in with an overhand right shot right at the end of the round there, and going back no doubt to more good advice from his handlers. Buchanan seeming to relish the contest the longer it goes, and really getting into his style of jabbing and avoiding trouble. Coming up for the 8th. Buchanan's terrific ring craft showing there as he held off that first flurry from Early and gets inside the right cross there. Early sharp to the punch there. Again sharp with that left hand on 2 occasions. Might well be a question here of who's going to be the fitter man and who's going to tire first.
him, Kenny, jab him. Come on, Ken. Come on, Kenny.
Buchanan working hard at frustrating the plans of the early camp and being first to the punch. And again makes early miss. Coventry boxers' punches go awry there. And it's just a flick of the head from Buchanan is enough. Fight his way out of the corner as Buchanan came in, flinging him from all angles. End of the 8th. With 4 rounds to go, and it really looks as though Buchanan has settled into the routine of foxing the opposition by going in first and trying to be first in with the punch. And early, I'm sure his corner are telling him to find some of the fire that he started with, some of the initial steam, power and drive, to go in and be in first. A great test here for Steve Early. Against one of the great ringmasters of all time, the 9th round. Shove out that left hand. Stab Early away from him. Stop him in getting set up. Versus the puncher now, but Early trying everything he knows to get in with his hard right hand and the left hook. Buchanan still spruce enough and smart enough to avoid most of them, but missing with his right hand himself. It's that left hand he's got to rely on all the time. Keeping Early away from him. Noticeably there at close quarters, it was Early's head who was going up as the uppercuts came in. And the veteran world champion certainly staying the pace extremely well. Nailed there by Early. We're in the 9th. Buchanan trying all he knows to keep Early away from him. Calling on all his abundance of skill, but Early still getting in with a couple of smart right-hand shots. and of the 9th. Interesting to know what's going on in the early corner at this stage of the contest. Early, this battler from Coventry, was born in Coventry of Irish parents. Well, his father was Irish, his mother also born in Coventry of Irish parents. But his grandfather, incidentally, was flyweight champion of Ireland as a pro. Early's Irish connection is very strong, although he's captained England as an amateur. 10th round. And Buchanan looking as though he's going out for a battle. Steve Early stopping the Buchanan cantrips at the start of the round and comes storming in. Early matching punches with him. Although that right hand punch is noticeably awry on a couple of occasions. But Buchanan, a master of the defensive art, covers up so well, so cleverly, before jabbing out that left hand in piston style. Early looking more and more as though he's seeking succor with one telling right-hand punch. Just a little bit high with the right hand there, Early. But Buchanan doing the hanging on, told by the referee. Bit of even Steven there and at close quarters. As Buchanan comes in with lovely combination punches. Early's fighting back and he's got to. Buchanan may not have the ability that was one of his strong points in his championship years. He's still got all the arts and crafts. Buchanan is stopping Early from getting set up for the big shot and knocks his gumshoe out as they end the 10th round. Oh my goodness, what a battle this has developed into. Early starting off by taking the contest to Buchanan and trying to make him duck back, dodge around, and use his now suspect footwork. And Buchanan coming back strongly, staying on, coming back behind this beautiful left hand, and at times taking the contest to Early. Buchanan's made Early miss on innumerable occasions when he's tried to get in with that big Sunday punch of a right hand. But there's still 2 rounds to go to see if Early can nail him. 11th round. Right away tries to nail him with the right hand. Buchanan just wasn't there. And again, Buchanan forcing the fight. Early knows he's got to come back. He's got to storm in and not allow the former world champion to dictate the pace and tactics. In the 11th, and Early swinging these punches from all angles, but not really finding a telling punch. Buchanan so fast to just move out of range, even by a fraction of an inch. But Buchanan determined not to give ground. Early now trying to force it, takes Buchanan to the ropes on the far side. Buchanan told to break. Now can Early find the steam and the power to harass the former champion? Buchanan going in with an unorthodox overarm right to lead with. Early warned. Careless, Stevie, careless. Good left-hand shot from Early as he comes back, making Buchanan fight. And what a great battle. Early trying to get him with a combination shot, and smothered at close range by Buchanan. Buchanan, a remarkable performer for a veteran. Just again, fraction of an inch out of the way of that haymaker from Early. And Early caught him a right-hander as the bell ended the 11th. Almost a controversial finish there as the last punch Early swung caught Buchanan. Buchanan claimed a bit low, but he was ducking away there just as the punch caught him, just as the bell went. Fortunately, no damage done, so far as that particular punch is concerned. So just one round then between these two, the up-and-coming Steve Early from Coventry against the old maestro, former world champion Ken Buchanan, to decide who goes in for a crack at the light welterweight championship of Great Britain. 12th and final round of this final eliminator. Early in the quick bombshell to the head for the right hand. Buchanan now striving to keep him away with that polished left hand. Early willing to ship punishment to get in and try and nail his man inside. Buchanan again relying on the left hand. He's ducking and weaving to get him out of trouble. But Early bent on finishing the contest as he started it by taking it to Buchanan and trying to be first with a telling punch. Again, Early's gum shield goes out. Harry Gibbs tells him to cool it. Early with a glancing right hand there. Harry Gibbs, possibly the best referee in the world, keeping it cool now between the best stylist in the world, Ken Buchanan, whose uppercuts are still doing the work inside, and the aggressive Early coming in, swinging them with both hands. It's a humdinger. Could all depend on this last stanza. Early there with a quick one to the belly and one to the chin. But Early's got to keep it going. Takes Buchanan the ropes. Rummels him up. Buchanan leaning on for a second, relying on the right uppercut to try and stem the tide. Weather the storm. Buchanan again guilty of leaning on, but that's ring-wise, that's all the wiles he knows, and only just a fraction out Early with the right hand there. Again, Buchanan is sharp enough to get out of range of that haymaker of a left hand. A storming contest, a storming finish in this final eliminator for the light welterweight championship of Great Britain. Buchanan striving to keep away Early, coming in swinging punches from all angles, any angle, just so long as he can land. Buchanan relying on that beautiful left hand to stem the tide and keep him out. And there's the bell, and the winner, Steve Early. Well, furor at the end as the bell goes and referee Harry Gibbs holds up the hand of the victor. Steve Early of Coventry will box for the light welterweight championship of Great Britain. And I see in his corner nobbins are being thrown in the ring. I see in his corner George O'Neill, a lad from Wolverhampton who was an area champion, a British champion, and had several great fights. Dived into the corner, congratulate Early.
170 points for winner.
And the announcement of referee Harry Gibbs' decision is scoring. Steve Early, the winner, 118 points, and former world champion Ken Buchanan, 117. Just 1 point in it. Terrific ovation for great fighters. And that great sportsman, that great former champion Buchanan, goes over there to pat his conqueror on the cheek and say, "Well done, son." What a beautiful gesture by the Scotsman. Edinburgh's Ken Buchanan covering himself in glory, in defeat, by going over and congratulating Steve Early in a manner that was clearly well meant and straight from the heart. A beautiful performance from a loser to a winner. Steve Early, victor over former world champion Ken Buchanan on points.
Steve Early and Ken Buchanan.